welcome. Go ahead, Reg. Tell them what's happening today because it's a
are
big one.
here. This is the last day of the leaks, everyone. This is day number 6. It is Unleash the Beast Day. It
Yes,
is
sir.
now time to show the missing piece of the puzzle so that people can now theory craft fully, find out what is out there, what is season 2 gonna be like. It's gonna be a blast. How you feeling, my bro? I am Ruthless Reg. I'm joined by my friend and colleague. We've got Gila here as well. How you feeling?
Reg, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I feel like we gotta turn this one up a little bit more. We got our beast today. This is the final card reveal. You know what they do?
They go
They
wild.
rage, bro.
They go
They
ham.
rage. So I'm about to rage today. But first and foremost, we have an amazing panelist. We need to introduce them. Ooh, I think you guys can take a look over here. Alriki, we'll start with you, my bro. Welcome to the stream.
What's up, everyone? My name's Alriki. I'm a Twitch streamer, content creator, twitch.tv/Alriki. Rage Beast enjoyer. You know, people know me as Rage Ricky, Mild Ricky. Excited to be here, see how my boys, my beasts are doing. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Good to hear. Kara, how you feeling?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Kara Cute. I'm an Axie professional player for MVP Axie GG. I'm also an Axie content creator. Yeah, I have four beasts in my house, so I really like beasts.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm a cat lover. I have 4 of those, so
Nice.
yeah. Excited for tonight.
Yeah,
Go. Let's go. Go ahead, Chuck.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chuck Fresco. I've been playing Axie since V1, V2. I rolled my first Origin Axies back in the day. I've seen so many transitions over the time. And I'm just excited here today to be able to share with you guys the new Beast cards. I'm so excited, but I also am very apprehensive. Beasts were so good last season. So we'll see what happens.
Woo! Don't
Wise
kill
words,
them,
wise
boys.
Don't jinx us, Chuck. Don't jinx us.
Go ahead, Ryan.
What's up, everybody? I'm Ryan Meditate. I am a Axie fanatic and content creator. You can find my stuff on AxieFactionYouTube.com. And yeah, I'm super hyped for beasts, man. I've been breeding double nut Arco beasts back in V2 when mechs were a thing, and I just couldn't let go. So I'm a beast lover. I know it's might be a little bit different from what we saw in season 1, but that's probably a good thing. I'm just excited to see what we get.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Hey, well, it's gonna
yep.
be a big one, isn't it? Let's transition back to just me and you, Reg. I got something to say before we get into this one.
Yep. Go ahead.
The question is, will these Beastie Boys still rage, Reg? Do we have to answer that straight away, or should we go straight into some new mechanics?
Oh, before we jump actually to new mechanics, while we are building up the people, we've got an announcement as well. We've got a town hall, an online town hall that's gonna happen on the Axie Infinity Discord. It's gonna be on the 16th of December. It is gonna be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be 10 p.m. Philippine time. That's also going to be 2 p.m. UK time. And that is for all of the questions to be answered. That is for people to gather. That is this Friday. That's the town hall, an Axie Infinity town hall.
We'll all gather together. Anything that you have to express, we should be able to get to the bottom of it there. We are now coming to the point where we'll have the entire meta kind of laid out for us. So it's going to be an interesting few days of figuring some things out. But before we can even start doing that, we do have to get into these new mechanics. And wow, I really like this one. But we're here today with the Beast classes. Reg, I'm going to let you start this off, man. Take it away if we can go with these new mechanics.
Here we go. Beast class revealed now. Grievous Wound is a new status effect.
Woo!
Each time this unit bleeds, deal 10 damage per Grievous Wound stack, then add 1 Grievous Wound stack. Then there's a maximum of 10 stacks. So you slowly whittle down an Axie whenever you make that Axie bleed. That is the power of Grievous Wound. That is a new mechanic that we'll be seeing in our cards later on. Then we've got Void. Our old Void is gone. Now the new Void is whenever an opponent draws the Void card, you reduce 2 energy fragments on your energy. Basically, it just hits the energy fragments.
Yep, we can see some changes here. I saw a lot of faces that were like, huh? Started reading the grievous wound. I mean, panelists, if we start with Kara, I can see your face is a bit like, what's going on here? How do you like? What do you think we could use with grievous wound right now? We can see that they're obviously going to be dealing some damage, but there's bleed involved here. What does this make you feel?
Yeah, I think the Grievous Wood is good because it makes a lot of cards stronger, like probably Nyan. I don't know if it still has the same effect, but there are some beast cards that has, that if a unit has bleed, then it will attack stronger. Also, the one of the runes, what is that? The dominant predator, right? So I think
Yep.
this will also be a good combination with that. For the
Awesome.
void, is it? Just want to clarify: is it changed from unplayable to when drawn reduced to energy fragments? Is that it? Or
So
is it
it's the
still
same
unplayable?
as Void used to act before. Instead of now eliminating an energy on you drawing it into your hand, instead it will actually reduce your energy fragments by 2. So if you actually have 0 energy fragments at the time of drawing the Void, it will negate the Void effect. There will be no, it won't do anything to you. But if you do have energy fragments built up, it will take 2 of those fragments away from you.
Correct. That is the power of the void right now. How do you feel about this so far as well? Let's go with Ryan.
I really like it. I think it makes bleed a much more viable strategy. As far as voids go, I understand exactly where the idea is coming from. Right, everything's sort of transitioning to this energy fragment system. Now, for like most comps, I don't see 2 energy fragments being a big detriment. Right, for like Aquas, they have like those Nemo ears, and when you can proc it correctly, you can get like 5 fragments from 1 card. So it might be a little underwhelming, the void, but we'll definitely have to test to see for sure.
Awesome. Good
Yes,
to
sir.
hear. Great to hear all of those initial insights. We've also got more mechanics underway. And then
They're changing the rage, bro. I'm sorry, I had to rage, bro. Let's go to the next slide. This mechanic
Come
is
on.
changing.
You're killing me,
It's
Gila. You're killing me.
All right.
It's
So,
changing.
Rage. Rage's attacks deal 1 bonus damage per hit for each stack. This unit suffers 1 extra damage per hit for each stack. So it is a bit of a nerf from what it was before. It used to be 2 damage per hit. Now it's down to 1. But however, upon reaching 10 rage stacks, you still consume all of the stacks and enter Fury form. Now when you're in Fury form, you still gain the 1 energy. You do deal 50% bonus damage. You used to be 65, so that's a bit less as well. But you also cannot grant energy fragments. This Axie cannot grant energy fragments and can't gain rage until the end of the turn. So just to clarify, not the team. It's not the team that gets affected. Only the Axie who's in Fury. That's the only Axie that can't give energy fragments during its attacks. That is one of the changes, the balancing that we are seeing right now. Chats are going wild. Good nerfs, according to chats. How do you feel about this? Chuck, let's go with you.
I mean, like I said earlier, it definitely was going to be nerfed. Like last season, we saw like everyone going into Fury mode, including the birds would go into Fury mode. Like it just was way too powerful. I see it as a fair nerf. Like we'll see. Maybe it's over nerfed now, but like the fact that they still gain that 1 energy is something that no other class really has right now. Other classes gain energy fragments, but this one still gains an energy at the sacrifice of not getting any energy fragments. So it's a trade-off. It's going to be interesting to see. I do feel like it's a warranted nerf. Last season, it was just way too much rage and fury. There was nothing else really to play, so it will really open up the meta, I feel.
Correct. Oh, and by the way, now that you mentioned the numbers as well, the team actually gave us a bit of insight as well that these numbers, based from what they receive during feedback, based from what happens in the game as well, these numbers can change as well. Is the thing. They'll keep an open mind as things progress, is what they're saying. Yeah. So that is always what we want to hear so far. Alriki, what do you feel about this?
As a rage player, to all the rage players out there, rip. rest in peace.
No,
But no.
I don't.
But I mean, to be fair though, if I'm correct, it was in Endless Anger's description as well that each rage stack deals a bonus 3 damage per stack instead of just 1. So they reworked rage to only deal 1 damage. But if you have Endless Anger equipped, then you're still going to be chunking a lot of damage. That's 3 damage per rage stack, right? And definitely hurts that you can't gain energy fragments, but I think that'll just make rage extra busted. But what I'm more concerned about is really cards like, Shiba, Little Branch. How much rage would these cards be able to give you, and how fast you could get to that fury form is really what will determine. But I think as much as it hurts for rage players, it's a needed nerf.
yeah,
Makes sense.
Very true. I think you touched on something that you might. Well, we definitely are going to see by the end of the stream today, but it's the cards as well that really will have an effect on how this looks. So I think it's a better time than ever to start satisfying. Y'all got some Christmas gifts, we dressed up today a little bit as Santa, so I got some gifts for you. Maybe you think rage might be dead or whatever. Some of you guys just overreact. I'm gonna be real, but whatever. Let's jump into the cards. We got the first set, and we are starting with the eyes, I believe.
Here we go.
Let's see puppy. Let's go.
So Zeal is the same as the other cards we've seen before. That is a deck filtering thing. Keeps the same, stays the same. Puppy is now new. It's a 0 cost. If there are no curse cards in your deck, the Axie gains 1 rage. Otherwise, remove 1 curse card from your deck. It's a totally different card right now.
Different.
Totally different. Chubby, attack all enemies for 40 damage. Apply bleed to all of them for 2 turns.
No more hidden razors.
It's not hidden anymore.
It's a built-in razor now.
It's a built-in razor. You're right.
The razor.
Little Peas is still the same. Apply
I'm glad to see
vulnerable
Little Peas the same.
4 turns.
I'll be honest.
That is the first of the eye changes.
Ryan, I can see that you are shocked. You are shocked right now.
I'm
I need to
losing
hear
my
it.
mind right here. They put Razor Blade on Chubby. This isn't even just good for Beast. This is good for every single AoE build in the game. This is amazing. And that gives you even more PP to work with to buff up your team in other ways. You don't have to waste by putting Razor Blade on the card. Little Peas is the same. Sleepless got changed to vulnerable, right? But only vulnerable for 2 turns, which means Little Piece is still extremely viable and is unlike other cards. Puppy, it's interesting, right? 0 cost, gets rid of curse cards. That's amazing. As for the rage, it only gives rage to the Axie that uses the card, and I don't necessarily see the backlane Fury Beast having puppy eyes. You're probably going to want Little Peas on your Fury guy. But I'm still really excited to see that it has some utility that is potentially.
Well, Chuck,
like,
I wanted
usable.
to ask you with Puppy changing. This is a big change because it's almost very different from what the card was before. With the idea and thinking how bugs went yesterday, and then also thinking about how many curse options there are in the meta right now. Do you think Puppy is probably something that is is going to be sought after or required in a meta team?
Yeah, like I definitely like the card. It's 0 cost, gives it a lot. There just will be a lot of times when you'll just draw it and there won't really be any curse cards and stuff, but I could see it being used. Definitely a big change from before since Zeal took over its role basically. But we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to play test it. I just feel it will come out as a dead card a lot of times in your hand. So, but it might be necessary. I saw that the bugs have a lot of goo going on, so we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to play test it for sure. I have a lot of Puppy beasts, so definitely gonna be something I play test to see how necessary is it to really use it.
Yeah, facts. We got some people in chat being honest. Well, in their opinion of honest. But yeah, I think this is all from the eyes, if I'm not mistaken. Next slide is ears, and I am a big fan of one of the cards.
Can I ask a question about Chubby?
Go ahead.
Let's return
what
the slide
happens
as well.
if we add Razor Blade in the Chubby? Will it extend its bleed?
I believe
4
so.
turns.
Potentially. I think
I
it would
believe what's
extend the
gonna
turns.
happen is it adds the stacks of turns to the bleed. So yeah, if you've got a razor on this, I believe, and then it bleeds everyone, it counts the hidden razor's bleed, and that becomes a 4-turn bleed. So it would be the same scenario as what it's been doing before, basically. If that's the question.
Sounds like
if
a
you
really
still want to
strong,
bleed it.
really strong mechanic considering the grievous wounds, right? That new
Yeah.
bleed, the stacking bleed, 10 damage per stack. It's actually insane.
If there's
Makes sense.
another AoE card in Beasts, it would probably be better to put the Hidden Razor on the other AoE card. Then you can play Chubby, get the bleed on there. When you play Hidden
And still,
Razor, Hidden
yeah.
Razor actually gains 10% bonus damage against bleeding enemies and then applies more bleed. So you'd be getting more value if you could potentially get Hidden Razor on another AoE card, but we'll see if one exists.
Wise words, wise words. There
Oh,
you
we had
go,
some
there you go.
leaks. The chat was talking about the next slide, so why don't we go and head over there?
Let's do
Oh
it.
man.
All
I'll
right.
tell you now. It's the innocent lamb. That's why I'm so happy with this slide.
Yeah, so
Innocent Lamb.
Innocent Lamb right now is still a 0 cost.
Oh,
You select one of this Axie's other skill or secret cards and add a copy of it to your hand, and then you banish. That is the new Innocent Lamb right now.
Just to clarify, it's not a huge change, but Innocent Lamb is now returning to the banish pile and no longer unstable. So
Correct.
we will have some manipulation with Innocent Lamb, which for me as a reptile player who has some tricky eyes here and there is very, very, very nice to see. But we have some other cards as well. I don't want to take the focus away from them. I know the guys are going crazy for these nutcrackers as well. So if you'd like to go ahead and read those out, man.
All right, so Nutcracker is no more a 6 damage bonus card whenever you swing with Nutcrack. It is now a 60 damage card, but whenever you swing with a Nutcracker card, you gain 10 damage for the rest of the battle on the Nutcracker, and it's capped at 60 bonus damage for a total of 120 bonus damage on Nutcracker. That is a lot of Nutcracking damage. Neon is the same if the target has bleed. Same idea, you dish out 20 bonus damage. Otherwise, though, you apply bleed for 4 turns. So there is now a new line on this. It's not anymore just extra damage. It is now both scenarios, like how we've seen Fragiles, like how we've seen the other vulnerable stuff, the other debuff effects that we have been seeing so far. These are our first of the new ear changes. Let's start with Alriki. How do you feel about this so far?
For Nian, actually, it's quite interesting how they kept the old effect, but also applied the bleed for 4 turns. Where with the new grievous wounds effect, wouldn't it just be better to like wait out the bleed and then just stack another bleed on them so that you get more grievous wounds damage by applying a new stack of bleed on them? It's interesting because if you deal the 20 bonus damage, you don't get that grievous wound stack, right? Which I think a lot of teams would be playing for those grievous wound stacks because 10 bonus damage capped at 10. So you hit him with 10 bleeding cards, you're dealing instantly 100 bonus damage each time you apply bleed. It's kind of insane.
Well, yeah, so Grievous Wound basically saying each time the unit bleeds, deal 10 damage to Grievous Wound stacks based on the Grievous Wound stacks. So like if I have, like you're saying, 10 Grievous Wound stacks, which I believe is not easy to get to, is the max, right? So every time that Axie actually plays a card and bleeds, it will also take the 10 bonus damage per Grievous Wound stack. So you're going to force Axies into a position where it literally can't make a move. It's going to be too detrimental for them. So the time and the extending of turns for bleed is massive. So I really think Nian is going to be one of those big cards for the beasts.
Yeah, putting those Axies in places where they can't really play cards because they're just bleeding too much is a really, really strong mechanic, I think.
It is. And it is smart as well to make note of that otherwise term. Otherwise, because it does not add the bleed stacks. So if Nian hits a bleeding Axie already, you don't increase the bleed count on that Axie as well. It just triggers the bonus damage without applying any bleed. So that is something to note, and that is the same across all of the other cards we've seen that have similar text to this as well. Chuck, how you feeling? We see a bright smile right there.
Honestly, Innocent Lamb, it looks kind of untouched. It looks a little, I mean, unless I'm reading the text wrong, it looks stronger than it was last season. I'm not sure why it would remain strong, but I mean, whatever. Like, I'll take it.
Energy gains are gone, Chuck. There's
Oh,
no more
energy gains.
Cottontail.
Oh, yeah,
There
yeah,
might
yeah,
still
yeah.
be
Well,
Cottontail. There might still be Cottontail.
Hey Ryan, I was gonna say,
saw-
don't you be talking
wait.
too soon now.
I want to say something. I want to say something, Gila. I tweeted a couple days ago. I said we could keep Nemo the same, gain 1 energy, but then prevent you from gaining fragments for the rest of the game. That would allow Aquas to maintain their aggro identity, but they lost their aggro identity. It looks like Beasts are starting to get that aggro identity, and we already saw the Fury mode grants an energy, prevents fragments from coming in. So it might be the case that Cottontail still provides energies for Beasts, and I'm got my fingers crossed. But
well,
hopefully, we'll see.
Hey, well, this Gila says you're not too far off, but you'll have to wait for that one. You'll have to wait for that one. We're in the tails. That's all the way at the end. We got a lot more cards to get through before that. A nice introduction to the ear cards for sure. I think some of these cards are really, really good. But we do have another slide for ear cards. There's another one on there that you Ragers will love. Belieber, I believe. Are you still a believer? Will you still be a believer? We'll find out, right?
Zen.
Let's read all of them. So Zen first is other ally. The Axes gain 1 rage. You swing for 60 damage. Now
give me that.
You don't heal. you attack with your ears now. That is one of the cool thing about Zen. Puppy is now it is heal all allies. Remove 2 curse cards. It's the same as before, I believe.
It's the same.
Based on the card stats.
Can we just get a moment?
And then we go to Belieber. Consume up to 3 rage. Deal 2 hits. This is not random anymore. This is 2 hits to the front. Each hit deals 5 bonus damage per rage consumed. When we were speaking with the team, this is like the Beast's Leafy idea, basically. You consume the rage stacks, and then you use that to boost the damage of Belieber on the front row Axie. That is one of the bigger changes that we are seeing right now. This is all of our ear cards revealed right now as well. We do hear a bit of reaction from Kara. How do you feel, my friend Kara? We see a lot of comments as well from Twitch chat that are actually fans of Kara by the looks of it. The mods have been hiding some of the comments already.
Kara, we love you, bro. I can't lie. I saw Kara at AxiCon, and I just had to go up to her and say, honestly, I think you're an amazing player, and keep doing what you're doing. So I'm not actually really glad to have you here.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. For Believer, I think it was buffed to additional 10 damage. It used to be 20. Consume up to 3 rage. Deal 2 hits. I'm not sure how I feel about it because it's gonna be hard. Usually before we use Believer to get to our rage turns, right? But right now it's gonna remove your rage turn, so it's gonna be tricky on how you gonna sacrifice your rage stacks for damage. And for Zen, it's now an attack card. It looks pretty interesting to me. 60 damage, and the other allies gain 1 rage.
Which ears do you like more, Zen or Belieber?
I think I'll go with the Believer still because it's an aggro card. I like being aggressive.
Oh, nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. Awesome.
Personally, I think Zen is the card that you'd want to use for a rage-centric build. I think Nian is what you use for a bleed-centric build. Belieber is what you use when you have rage in your build, but you're not a Fury-centric build, right? I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet because it's nowhere near the same value that you get from.
Before you mention anything, Ryan, should I add something to increase the Belieber reasoning? So I just got a message from our team. Rage, what we forgot to mention, now applies to multi-hit as well. So if you're at 9, this is not 30 damage. This is 30. Actually, that's going to go down with the loss of the rage. So you're going to go down to 6 rage. But that is plus 6 damage on the 30, plus 15 each on the rage stacks that are used. So that's plus 21.
102 damage.
That's it.
As opposed to Leafy, which is 150.
That's true.
Yeah. That was my point.
Yeah, actually, it's hard. It's
Good
hard to
ride.
say if it's amazing because Belieber only deals 2 hits. You know, it'll be like a ridiculously broken, like really strong card if it's like deal 3 hits. You know, much like Leafy or Tri Spikes or something. But I don't know. You consume your rage just to deal a bonus. Like let's say you just consume your rage, right? So 5 times 3, that's 15. So 45. It's a 90 damage 1 cost card, but you do consume your rage. So I'm on the fence about it, but again, if like what Ryan mentioned, if you're not a Fury centric build and you just like get some rage stacks here and there, it's still a lot of bonus damage for a 1 cost card though.
Yeah, you can't get rage stacks in Fury mode anymore. So, but sorry, I was out of the room for a second because I was just delisting all of my beasts right now. But
I did that before stream.
Nah. I remembered this needs to be done. But guys, these are some great, these are just the ear cards. But so far, we've had a lot of interesting changes. There's definitely more to come. We're going to move on over to the mouth cards, where we have 4 changes coming up for you on the screen.
Let us go to the mouth cards. In 3, 2, 1. There you go. Here we are. Nutcracker is the same as the other Nutcracker that we saw a while ago. You get 10 bonus damage for the rest of the battle. It's capped at 60 bonus damage. Goda is now 60 damage. It is no longer 50 damage. You shuffle 1 void into your opponent's discard pile. Something is missing. There's no more banish written on Goda. So that is new. Axikiss is no longer random. You swing at the closest enemy. However, it actually is a bit disjointed where it will look at whomever is the lowest HP Axie of your opponent's Axies and apply Death Mark to that Axie. That is a new change. And Confident stays the same with a cleansing ability. However, you now only grant 1 rage with Confident. That is our mouth cards. I believe this is the only slide for mouths. Yes, it is. These are our 4 mouth cards. How do you guys feel about this?
I think
I like the Goda. Yeah, who's got thoughts on the Goda? You got it, Ryan.
Goda loses banish, but then again, Void lost most of its utility, right? It used to get rid of an entire energy. Now it only gets rid of energy fragments, which means the only real detriment your opponent is going to be feeling is the lack of an extra card in their hand, right? I don't really see the energy fragments like being like, oh no, I can't believe I lost 2 fragments. It'll be situational. It might happen here and there, but I could see... You could potentially, I could see like early season people playing like double, triple Godas and just really trying to choke your opponent and making sure they don't get that energy burst.
You can also play it with Zeal as well. Get it back from the discard pile, go again. Those types of things.
That's true. Confident, I think, was very fair. I think that's what everyone was expecting. I think a lot of people were even expecting it to lose the cleanse, but I'm glad to see it's still there. Yeah, Death Mark's interesting. Sort of sad to see it lose target any, but it's okay.
The chat is like, Goda is super nerfed. Just say
it. Just say it. To be fair, I think, from first glance, Axikiss and Goda both look like they got their legs chopped off. But I think the way that the class is pivoting, people will find ways to use them, for sure.
To play devil's advocate, a lot of people are trying to figure out right now how to build decks around Navaga and Tiny Fan. And then the only way to play Tiny Fan is to, waste a lot of energy on things that are going to get you these energy fragments, but not a lot of damage or utility, right? So if they're focusing on only gaining energy fragments so that they can have this really strong late game, and you can somehow deter that with Goda, there might be a lot of value in that. It could completely shut down some decks. But if that's the case, people stop playing those decks in the meta, and then Goda's useless again.
I still think Goda's a good card. I do think Goda's a good card. I'll put it out there. That's my 2 cents on it. Anyone else?
I'm likewise though. I think Goda's still a good card. They buffed the damage from 40 to 60. Yeah. Think of it like a regular curse card, right? You have Sleepless, you have Jinx, right? Inkling. They're all 60 damage cards. So Goda's a 60 damage card. Gets a void in there. So worst case scenario, like what Ryan said, it's just kind of like a curse card, but it has that extra, 2 energy fragment like steal, right, or destroy 2 energy fragments, right? So I
Yeah,
think that it has those niche scenarios where it can add up and it can really matter, but in the end it's still like a curse card. So I think it's a good option if someone's trying to run like a curse comp or something where you just want to stack curses at your opponent.
Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. Chuck,
I,
have
I
any?
honest, honestly think it's always been weird to me that there's only one void card really in in the whole set. So maybe if there was another one, you could constantly keep pressuring them and stuff. But yeah, I think I honestly think it's a buff to Goda, because before it was bad to put it on your backliner because it would disappear as a card and you would get unstable, so it would mess up your whole attack sense.
yeah.
But getting one void now, adding pressure to them, I do feel void needs to be upped a little bit, but we'll have to see. It all depends if there's another void in this set. If there's not, then it does need to be tuned up a little bit, in my opinion. But I see a lot of these cards; they're pretty strong. Like what I'm seeing, Axikiss. The only one question I had about Axikiss: what happens when you apply targeting to it? Does it attack the back axis and then also apply Death Mark to the weak
I
one
think
or whatever?
yeah, if you're charming, like you can obviously make the redirections possible. So if you're going
You
for
can direct-
rocket stamps, you can go anywhere. The effect strictly applies to the axis with the lowest HP.
Oh
though. So
my
this
God,
is almost like
that is
a momentum. You can
that is
clean
a
up where
little
you've already
strong.
been.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
this is.
because
I really
before-
think this is a great card.
Yeah, Death Mark before used to be conditional. You had to be under 50%. So
Yeah.
I feel Axie Kiss just became way more usable in this meta. Like oh my God, it could pick off so many things that like are barely living with the little HP. I don't know. I think Axie Kiss is a little strong right now.
Summon units are dead. Summon units are dead. Try to play a Robin against me. Try it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. That gets Death Mark to bits, and then one attack that goes down. Yep, yep. That's got a lot of potential.
I don't know how I feel about a death mark on a summon though, bro. For me, it seems like it's taking a lot of value away. But still, there are see these are little things that open up, and the intricacies of the meta start to expand. I think we should move on to the next slide though.
Let's go. Let's jump right to it. Here we go. The
famous.
first of the back cards, Ronin, is the same. It deals bonus damage equal to 50% of this card's base damage per energy spent before Ronin this turn. There is a cap though at 5
At
energy
5
for
energy,
Ronin.
yep.
That is one. Hero is
I'm
now...
sure a lot of people are happy with that. You know, keeping Ronin the same. It's one of those staple
Absolutely.
cards. Everybody is probably going to be affected by Ronin doing something crazy. So I'm glad to see that Ronin is still doing Ronin things.
Awesome. Hero is the new goldfish. If this is the only attack card in your hand, draw 1 card. That is one of the new cards right now. Jaguar is, if the target has bleed, deal 20 bonus damage. Otherwise, apply bleed for 4 turns. This is a Neon copy on the back card.
More of
This
that
is the
bleed.
first of the new back cards. Kara, how do you
Ooh.
feel about this? Oh, yeah.
I think I like the buff on the hero. For me, it's a buff because it's additional damage and having a more consistent like same as goldfish, right? But for different axi, like for beast, it's also easier for new players to understand these mechanics. For Ronin, I do agree with this change, cap at 5 energy, because sometimes when that god draw and then you just your axes are just all gone in one turn.
Yep, yep.
Spam and Rise have a lot of those highlights wherein in one turn he can kill all 3 axes. So I think that's why they nerfed this to cap at 5 energy. And yeah, Jaguar, I think it's changed a little bit. Yeah,
Yep.
it's not, it now has the bonus damage and
Yep.
the bleed for 4 turns. So yeah, I like all of these back cards.
Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. Ryan, go ahead.
This is amazing. Having Ronin stay the same is so, it brings up so much confidence in me. It's like I can still make beasts work. I have so many beasts, so I'm really excited to try them out. Hero isn't just like goldfish now. It's also the same as what hair used to be on the tail, which means if this has this effect, hair is going to be something totally different. It
I
also
love how
falls
Ryan
more in
goes.
line this also falls more in line with Beast being more aggressive, right? Having it, like they transferred the effect from Goldfish over to Hero. Jaguar, very interesting. It's the same as Nian now, but what has got me geeking right now is if I apply Razor Blade to Jaguar, does the bleed from Razor Blade apply before the effect procs? Because if that's the case, I could get bleed on there and get the 20 bonus damage all in one swoop.
Makes sense. We'll have to find out. I believe you are correct though, but we'll get some confirmation from the team as well, just to find out if that is correct. If so, this is an 80 damage card that applies.
But definitely seeing that bleed, you know, identity coming through here with the beasts. They want to make you bleed and hurt. This is going to tie in with Grievous Wound, but we haven't seen anything on Grievous Wound just yet. Ricky, how you expecting a certain card? I mean, there's a lot of questions that are in my head. You know, where is this Grievous Wound going to come in?
Yeah, actually, well, with the back cards right now, like aside from that, Ronin, my biggest question is, does the I believe attack charm still work on Ronin, and consider it as base damage, because that's something that made Ronin really strong last season, where you do a +10 attack charm, then 50% of the card's base damage, you get an extra 5 damage per stack of Ronin, right? So like that's a boiling question in my head.
I believe it actually stays the same.
I think
yeah, because the charms actually increase the base damage of the card itself. So yes,
so I think Ronin's still gonna be really strong, because it's very rare that you'll get 5 energy in a turn unless you go like triple rage with like multiple energy gains and such, or you're really late game with all the energy fragments. So yeah, I'm as curious as you are, Gila, about Grievous Wounds. I have as far as I know, like you can only get more Grievous Wound stack per bleed applied, and you know, Nian and Jaguar, they don't really apply bleed if the target is already bleeding. It's got to be a separate instance, right? So I'm really curious how if there are any other cards that maybe deal with Grievous Wounds, you know, bonus damage or something. I'm excited.
Yeah,
awesome. Good to hear.
Well, what comes after this is another round of back cards. We still have some, you know, that have not been crazy used in the meta, in my opinion. I haven't seen many risky beasts here and there, things like that. So we'll see on this next slide.
Let's go. Useful. This should be fun. So Risky Beast is the same. If initial, deal 15 bonus damage and apply Death Mark to self for 2 turns. That is that is still the same. Death Mark on your own Axie. Timber is the same as well. Target any ally next turn. Whenever that gets attacked, you get a Lumber Shield. It's capped at 3 Lumber Shields as well. The new one is this, the Furball. There's a lot of text here. Deal 2 hits. If you have greater than 1 energy, spend 2 energy to play this card instead. Then gain 1 energy. So what is this? How do we clarify this? So it's just a pseudo energy gain if you've got more than 1 energy. And where does that count? As Ricky mentioned. Not only that, Ronin damage.
Ronin damage.
You spend more energy, but you get like a rebate or a refund, right?
Yeah,
correct.
Much like Carrot, I believe. Gain 1 energy if you the old Carrot, not the new one. The new one is pretty awesome.
Yeah, smash the shield.
Exactly.
Yeah,
similar to the old
this one's
Carrot.
like overly like the writing of it and the way that it reads is like it makes you feel like what the hell's going on here. But at the same time, this is a amazing ramp option for Beast to have here. Now you gain the extra fragment from using, you know, from gaining another ability to play another energy, and then also you are helping yourself get towards a much higher damage base on Ronin.
Correct. This is a setup card, if that is what we'd like to identify Furball as. An option is, for example, you go Furball, Ronin. That would be a Ronin for 5 damage, potentially. For 5 pseudo energy is what we're looking at. And that's
pretty damn scary.
It is
pretty damn scary.
Chuck, how do you feel about this so far?
Well, keep in mind it's in the back, so you can't play it in the same position as Ronin, so they're conflicting. So they're more for the support. But honestly, that's awesome. Like I like that kind of card. Like I like the ideas the team's coming up with, because Furball before was very like a weak two hit card, like not really any use for it in the meta. but this one definitely makes some of those axes more usable and even like become the support of the team. Oh my god, I'm really excited. Like a lot of these cards, I was really scared about it becoming like a bird day today, but keeping Ronin and adding all these things just makes me so happy for the class. It makes me want to play them so bad.
Correct.
Confirm Chuck playing Beast season 2.
Oh, and chat is mentioning as well Deathmark damage. Pseudo 2 energy is 30 damage on Deathmark for 1 energy cost as well. That is something to note.
So chemistry with Axie Kiss, I guess.
Yes, because you're going to do 2 of those death marks, right? So you're going to stack up a little bit more damage there. Could be game winning, could be not worth shit, but we don't know until we play. So, but crazy. I you know, the other 2 cards are, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much the exact same. But yeah, Furball, something that really perked my ears up when seeing it for the first time. Got any scenarios that we could use this in, guys? Anyone got a comp they're thinking of, or a specific axie that they're thinking of based on the cards we've already seen?
I mean, it's pretty good, and you could even throw Furball in Aquas for the energy ramp. You know, like because it's what do they have right now? They have, I guess, Goldfish, which can potentially give you 3, right? One automatically, and then 2 as a bonus. But if you're not playing if you don't have any way to guarantee that skill card, Furball could be a way to make that work as well.
Makes sense.
Facts. Yeah, we're trying to get to those big energy bursts for that tiny fan, right?
True that.
Yeah, and actually, before when you play Beast, you have like 3 Ronin backs, and so right now Furball is definitely an option on one of those. So it will work like Kotaro when the Kotaro mount when we play like AOE birds. So this will somewhat
a non-random Kotaro.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Glad to hear. So far, is everyone happy right now with what they're seeing? This is actually the halfway point, I believe. Oh, not even.
I just want to do one thing. Now we kind of are in the mid. I just want to do one thing. Right now, if you're in the chat, if you think so far Beasts have been a bit of a W, can I just see a W? And if you think F or L, like just go ahead and put your expression. I want to see where we're at because we still have a few surprises to pull out for you. But horns are next, Reg.
True that indeed. We are seeing W's in the chat.
Yeah, it's a mix.
There's an F.
There's a lot of W's. There are quite a lot of W's I'm seeing. But hey, I honestly think Beasts are gonna be just exactly like their name. Pretty simple.
True that. So now what's next is we are gonna be jumping to the horn cards, as you said, and here we go. We've got Little Branch. It's gonna be the same 130 damage, gain 1 rage stack per living ally. Imp is now retained and base damage is increased by 20 in Fury form. That is one of the bigger changes we are seeing right now. Mary, target any ally if initial, shield all allies for 50% of the base stat instead. So it's the same as what we've got before.
Yeah.
The main difference on this screen is the Imp. And we saw a bit of excitement from Ryan. How are you feeling, Ryan?
Oh, me and Chuck both pumped our fists when we saw Little Branch.
There's too many Little Branches out there for it to die, for real.
The dream is still alive. Seeing Imp is really cool because Imp was always supposed to be used with Fury mode, but it always felt a little underwhelming. Now the fact that it's retained, you can keep it in your hand and save it for when you get into that Fury mode. It's really cool. It's no longer a free card, but having it go up to 80 base damage and then getting that increased by 50%, so it's going up to 120 damage. That's fairly decent with a retain. Yeah,
awesome. Glad to hear. Chuck, have anything to add to that as well?
Happy that Little Branch didn't get nerfed to the ground. That's a relief to Beast players, I feel. Imp, definitely, like you said, being able to hold the card. I would sometimes play that card holding it, adding a charm to it just to retain it. But now that it has retain on it, it just became so much better. Thins out your deck, allows you to have a card, because sometimes you get a really bad draw and you need that extra card. So there's so many retains like Tiny Dino, Imp, so many things you can hold in your hand to do a damage turn without like getting cursed to death and stuff. I find it really good. Mary's always been the card that I was hoping could get a little bit more love in this meta. It's a very interesting defense card. I was hoping it would change a little bit, but we can't get everything. We got to take what we can get. Being a beast set right now.
Just to elaborate a little bit on the Mary, like for me, it's always been the fact that it doesn't really, it just doesn't marry well with Beast because there isn't much, defensive necessities out there. Like, but even so, now having a 50% shield at 40 shield across the team against certain things like an Aqua with a more of an AOE approach, potentially, has a bit more viability with it. But I can't see many people using it, if I'm honest.
Well, Mary had an innocent lamb whose fleece was white as cottontail. I think Mary. I'm really happy that Mary stayed the same, and I think not because it works well with beasts, but because it works well in so many other scenarios, and it has a lot of utility. It's either the highest shield card in the game, or it is a AOE defense. Having that option, I think, is really strong. We're not going to see it played in Beast, but we're going to see it played in other places.
The Horn shield slot is very,
So you're happy it's there, not necessarily for the Beast class, but just to be there as an option for the Axes to have if needed. Yep, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, right there. Kara, how do you feel so far?
Yeah, for Imp, I like it. The retain mechanic. I think they already mentioned it. Like, people used to just add retain in Imp, and it's now free, and basically a free charm. Yeah, and then the rest. Yeah, I'm also happy the little branch didn't get nerfed, and Mary is okay if it is the same.
Nice, good to hear that. Good to hear. That it is great. Not plus one in the chat is saying, "All right, more cards to hit with my garish worm." Is what he's saying in the chat. There you go. Awesome. This is the first of our horn cards. We've got another set of horn cards to show, and then we're.
I got a
off
sweet
to the tails.
tooth. I got a sweet tooth, and I need some Pocky.
Awesome. So Pocky now is randomly deal 2 hits for 30 damage each, and then apply taunt to the enemy hit with the lowest HP for 2 turns. It is not random anymore. It is disjointed as well on who to apply the taunt towards. Dual Blade is our card that applies Grievous Wound right now. Target any enemy, apply Grievous Wound, 60 damage. Arco is the same, remove up to 2 secrets from the target. And these are your horn cards right now. Seeing a lot of smiles. Alriki, how do you feel about this?
Finally, a card that applies Grievous Wound. So I think this is going to be central. Given that we've seen all the horn cards already, right? This is going to be really central for the bleed centric deck. So like if you're running like a bleed centric beast deck, then you definitely I'm expecting to see something like triple dual blades there or something, because I think that this new mechanic is really, really strong. And then with regards to Pocky, apply taunt to the enemy hit with. I think this has something to do with like the effect of Axie Kiss, right? So beasts are having this thing, which I think it's not really a beast thing, but they apply effects to the lowest HP unit, right? So I'm thinking that this has more synergy even with, let's say, Aqua cards, right? You have the option to hit front or back, and like if you want to get the backliner really low, then you can also use these beast cards as like a cherry on top. Let's apply taunt to him. Let's apply death mark to that guy who's already low. I think that it might not fit the beast's archetype, but if combined with other class cards, specifically maybe Aquas or others, I think it's potential to be really strong.
True that. Yep. Makes a lot of sense. There is the added randomization, though, of, for example, if you hit the front twice, that becomes the lowest HP, then suddenly that's the lowest HP Axie. That is only something to take note of as you play Pocky, is a thing. Chuck, what do you think so far?
Just very interesting to see Pocky. I mean, it was random before, so I think it made it a little bit more consistent, being able to hit 2 targets possibly. I do think I'm still going to add a charm to it just to get the consistency up on it. But yeah,
I don't think you can.
You can't. Oh,
You
whoa.
can't put rocket stamp on Pocky. But
dang,
here's
that's
the
what they
thing. Here's the
did,
thing,
yeah.
Chuck. Chuck, it doesn't apply taunt to the enemy that you hit with the lowest HP. It's two disjointed sentences. So after you deal 2 random hits, it just looks at all the enemy axes. Whichever enemy axis has the lowest HP, that's the one you taunt.
I got you.
Yeah,
I
very
got
much like the Axie kit. Apply death mark to the lowest HP, but you hit the front or whoever you're gonna hit. Right?
you. Yeah, I got you.
Correct.
Ooh,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
And it
Changes the
can't-
mechanic a bit.
Wait, can multi-hit cards have charms on them? Like, I forget. Yeah, they can, right?
There's focus charms, but the rocket stamps don't work. Like
okay.
Wait.
So.
I'm about
We're
to get an
just getting
update on this because
updates.
I want to be certain on this. I still think there's something going on here. It taunts between the one and two axes that are hit.
That is something we need to note, though. You apply taunt to the enemy that's hit with the Pocky with the lowest HP, so it's disjointed between the randomly hit targets.
Yeah.
So if we give a scenario, like backline Axie has the
right.
lowest HP, but you use Pocky and you hit the front and midline, it will be the one with the lowest HP out of the front and midline, not the backline Axie.
That one little word hit. Enemy hit. If it just said enemy, that
it changes everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
All good.
So, it's very interesting. Arco the same. Previous wounds definitely will start up. I feel a new meta for bleeding decks. It's going to be very interesting. I want to try it. I want to try it out. We'll see. I'm very excited to test out a lot of these things that they're doing.
Stamps do say enhance single and multi-hit attacks, but I don't know about random hits.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a clarification on stamping these cards right now because it's something that I thought of straight away. Well, why not just sun stamp the Pocky and make it an absolute backdoor taunt card? But we'll get some confirmation on that.
Makes sense.
In the meantime, though, Arco removing 2 secrets. Big.
Still the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's way more value than Beach, right? We have Beach from plants that gives you 125 damage and removes 2 shields. This is like cut in half, right? This is like the damage is cut in half, but the effect stays the same.
If I remember correctly, Beach removes all of it, though.
Yeah, I think all secrets is Beach.
Yeah, Beach. I think you spend more energy, and it does click. It just eradicates.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful
the business.
But I think that even if Arco stayed the same, I think its value drastically increases because there's a lot more diversity in secrets in this meta. Like we've seen a whole bunch of new mechanics when it comes to secrets from the cards previous to today. So secrets are really secrets that you don't really know what they're doing. And I think it's gonna increase the value of Arco and Beach even for those use cases.
Yep. We are like conjuring up some scenarios in the background here just so we can have clarification for you guys. If it's to talk on the Pocky card, we're talking about a situation where Pocky is used, it hits 2 axes, they both are, let's say, had Merry Shield on them. No damage was done to them, they both have the same HP at the end of Pocky. Who are we hitting?
Yeah, we're just trying to find that out as well. We'll come back to it once we've got an answer. Should we move forward? Oh, go ahead, Kara.
Can I just add something? This Pocky change, I'm actually not sure why they chose to, do it this way. For me, it's kind of complicated reading this instead of the normal, the previous version that is just hits randomly. And I like Pocky a lot because of its high base damage. And this one, it's now 60 damage. So it's basically
good
almost the same as the other Horde cards.
The only thing sorry, Kara.
Yeah, one more thing for the dual blade because we usually you have this dual blade, the fragile mechanic, right? To use against healing comps. Since it's now gone, I'm thinking where the fragile is now for the beast, or it's totally gone because there are a lot of dual blade beast that is being used currently in the meta to specifically avoid counter those shielding decks or comps.
There's
personally, I'd take Grievous Wound. I'd take
Identity
Grievous
shift.
Rune over Fragile for sure. I think the Pocky really, if we take a look at the way Rage works now, the attacks deal 1 bonus damage per hit for each stack. So if with Pocky being a multi-hit now, you're actually improving the bonus damage of the Rage. So I think that would be the direct reason for having multiple hits there.
Cool.
A little bit of damage not worth the utility, in my opinion. But we'll see how it goes. It all depends on if the stamps work.
Makes sense. Makes sense. These are all valid arguments about Pocky right now, and we're happy to have that because these are all being heard. These are all being taken into account, so it should be good stuff moving forward to season 2.
I will say one thing though, Reg. Unfortunately we are not FAQ, mate. So keep your questions and you can ask later on. And we got to schedule to move on with horn cards. We still have. That's the last of them, right? We're down
to the last body part.
Tails. This
Here,
one, okay.
We
this is gonna get you like
go.
talking.
Cottontail, look at that. That's a wall of text. All right, let's go. Cottontail is retain. Target any ally. Consume up to 10 energy fragments, then heal 7 HP per energy fragment consumed. If at least 7 of these energy fragments are consumed, you gain 1 energy and then you banish Cottontail. One of the bigger changes. Let's mention everything else and then let's talk about all of this. Rice, steal 1 energy fragment. If this attack causes unblocked damage, you steal that energy fragment. Shiba, 130 damage. All allied axes gain 1 rage. They gain 1 extra rage per 25% HP. This Axie has lost. We saw a wild reaction from Ryan. How do you feel so far about this?
It was all pride. I'm just glad that I was right.
Right. Hey, the banish ability now that's scary to me. I'm so sorry, but that scares the shite out of me. We can tricky that right back.
Makes sense.
Are you gonna want to on a beast build though? Who knows what the full composition?
Ryan, you I'm not gonna be playing beasts. It's not happening. I'm seeing it from somewhere
worth
else.
it on reptiles.
Hey, well, we won't know till the 29th, mate, until we play the game. So
yes, sir. If anyone's gonna figure it out, it's you.
True. Chat's going wild for Shiba as well. All allied axes gaining 1 rage off the bat and then 1 extra rage per 25% HP. This axie has lost is the thing. Is this good? Is this bad? What do you guys think of these tales so far? Let's go with Chuck.
Shiva definitely got a nerf. Like we saw, it's not as strong as it was before. But it's okay. Like Shiva, I made, I think, one of the first videos on YouTube on Shiva, explaining how strong it was. And honestly, when I started playing other players that use my exact build, I realized Shiva can't stay the way it was. It was putting everyone into Fury mode way too fast. So I do see this as a consequence from last season of it just being overtuned. We're going to have to see how it plays out now. It is a little bit costly of a card. I'm really excited for Rice. Rice stealing energy fragments. I sort of guessed that's where they were going to. So if people were to check my Ronin wallet, they'd see that I was buying up Rices a lot. I only did that as a hunch, though. So don't get crowd crazy. Just because Rice in V2 had the ability to steal energy fragments, steal energy. So I was like, could they do it? Is it possible? And of course, like it ended up happening. Steel has energy fragments right there. 1 energy fragment doesn't seem like a lot, though. We're gonna have to see if that's worth it. But now that it actually has some utility like that, it could counterplay some things, I feel.
Yeah, it doesn't get banished now as well.
Oh yeah, it doesn't get banished.
I'm starting to formulate my opinions a little bit more now that I've actually read all the cards fully through. Shiba I like because it always has utility now, but you can get more if you're within a certain HP. I think it makes a lot more sense the way it's worded now. Rice, I'm not really a fan of Rice. I think it's a little underwhelming personally. Low damage, not a great effect.
Think about Ryan, how good it was last season. Rice was terrible last season. Like it didn't have any use really in the meta.
And I continue to see it not having any use in this meta. I'm sorry.
Right. Think about it. Rice and Goda. Rice.
On
and
the other
Gold,
hand, I mean, why on earth would you play Rice when you can play Cottontail, which is going to heal you for 70 health for 0 cost and give you an energy? Why would you ever play Rice? That Cottontail, I'm sorry. I love the fact that it's the same, but it's going to have to be nerfed because there's no way you can heal for 70 any target for 0 energy. That is way too much.
Oh, and there's another line of text, Ryan. There's also retain
and gain an energy.
There's
a free retain.
It's a retain.
Oh,
First
and
line.
the retain! Oh my god! I thought it said banish! I thought it said banish! What? No way! I'm losing my mind right now.
Yeah, Cottontail's way too overtuned.
I think when we look at the mechanics change of the game as well, with the burst system and how fragments actually are useful, you're literally upgrading your energy for the rest of the game. So gaining an energy at the cost of being so far now behind in fragments, is it that huge? We don't know yet. And personally, I don't think it will be when we get into playing, but you know, it's all up for speculation at this point.
I had a question though. I had a question about Rice real fast. What if like your opponent already completed their enough fragments to get to the next level? Can you bring them down 1 level if you steal it? Like, or does that not?
I've asked this to the team before we started, and they confirmed that you can't go down from a burst.
Ah, come on.
So you can't go down to 9 or 11 fragments again. That they've stolen 1 fragment, something like that. It doesn't work. So once you've bursted, you can't go down. Something that's been confirmed to us. Ulriki, you had something to say as well?
Yeah, I think like I'm with Ryan on this. Like Rice and Goda seem very underwhelming because for Aquas you have these cards like Nemo that you could just ramp up like 5 energy fragments just in an instant, and then these cards like Rice and Goda that are meant to, in a sense, be a detriment to other like Aquas or whichever. Gaining more energy fragments, I think they're really underwhelming considering, you get 5, but then you get subtracted 1, you get subtracted 2 energy fragments. It's really nothing once you start getting there. And ramping up, really,
I think they need to be up just a little bit. Like, that's the impression that I get from them, is that they're good, in my opinion, but they do need more to actually counter some of the things they're supposed to counter.
Well, the thing about Goda is it's not even going to, the Void isn't going to remove the fragments until they draw into it on their next deck cycle. They've probably already got their energy burst by then. So it's not, and it's only two from the Void, which is really just not worth it. And then like Rice, there's so little damage. The effect only procs if it causes unblocked damage, and the effect itself is extremely underwhelming. So it's, yeah.
It almost seems like Goda should delete energy fragments right away. Like it should just do it at that moment.
Almost, but then you lose the curse card value. Component, so it's there's an argument both sides.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Kara, how do you feel so far?
Yeah. I think for the Cottontail, a lot of players will be happy since it's still the Inalam Cottontail synergy is still there. I just don't like that this Cottontail has a lot of text here. I mean, the explanation is so long.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because it's really, I don't know, it's full of text. Then yeah, Shiba, like what Ryan mentioned, it has more utility now. Like before, if you didn't like get the 75% HP, then there's no rage. You will not gain any rage, right? So right now, as long as it's damaged, if the Axie has lost its HP, then you will still get some rage, but yeah, it's kind of nerfed also since you will not get that 4 rage anymore for each Axie.
Makes sense.
Instantly.
Makes sense. Yeah. The
I
only
can't let
question
myself
is
get carried away with this Cottontail, man.
the only question for Shiba, is it a nerf to Oblivion or is it a fair nerf? And I think we'll have to see the season play out as we see it in action, basically.
I think it's a fair nerf.
Yeah. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Fair.
Well, I think to the card itself, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think to the card itself, it's a fair nerf, but to take into consideration that Frenzy Mask only gives rage to all other allies now, I think it's a overall to Rage. It's a big nerf for Little Branch and Shiba because Little Branch, the effects on change, but you could get up to 4 Rage stacks on yourself if you put a Frenzy Mask, right? But now that it's only provide Rage to other allies, you're not getting those stacks on yourself anymore. Likewise with Shiba, right? You used to be able to give 5 Rage stacks to everyone, which is insane. But now Frenzy Mask only gives to other allies, so you can get, like, let's say if you're at 50% HP, your allies get 3 rage stacks, you only get 2. So I think overall it's a big nerf, but to the card itself, not so much.
Like frontline Shibas will still be fine, but I think backline Shibas maybe might backline beasts might need to change their Shiba out for something else.
1437 saying take Shiba to the floor, mate.
Speaking of which, should we go to the last missing puzzle piece to complete the season 2 lineup?
I'll be honest, I don't think there's a missing puzzle piece here, but let's go on to the last slide.
Let's go. So here is 70 damage. You deal 5 bonus damage per card in your opponent's hand. Just to confirm, this is only what is in the opponent's hand during your turn. So these are the retain cards. These are any pure waters that have been triggered. Those count towards hair, but not the next draw of the opponent. The Nutcracker is the same as the other Nutcrackers we've seen. You gain 10 damage for the rest of the battle. And then we've got one of the new changes, Gerbil. Gerbil targets any enemy. You remove 1 secret from the target for 55 damage. And that is all of our cards at this point in time. How does everyone feel about these tales to begin with? And then we'll have final
I want to
words
start with
later on.
Gerbil, bro, because Gerbil has been so underloved for the longest, I think my entire time of Axie Infinity, bro. I can't lie to you. But, like, is this Gerbil being shown love? Does anyone think this is love?
I don't think so. I think it's a bad Arco.
Yeah, it's a worse Arco.
So you only remove 1 secret. Arco will remove 2. You get the benefit of being able to target any enemy, but why are you targeting any enemy if they're shielding up their secrets on the front? Like I mean, it's almost like you can target. It's like, yeah, you can target anything if maybe they're not playing any shield, so you're not really using it for the secret effect. But then, I mean, everything else in Beasts is front to back. So why are you going to want to randomly deal only 55 damage to a backlane Axie? I don't really see it. I don't see it at all. Not at all.
I mean, there's some synergy maybe potentially with like
Deathmark.
You know, yeah. But I was gonna go down that route, and then I was literally in my head was just telling myself just shut up. So I don't know. Maybe they'll find it. Maybe it's the damage is too weak. You know, I think it just needs something a bit more here. It's kind of like halfway in between. Oh, we want to make this card a bit better, but it's just not as good as other cards. And yeah, it's sad.
Yeah,
It's sad. But I like hair. I do like hair because I'm going to be punishing all of you lot that think Cottontail is the God's card. But I'm only getting 5 bonus damage from that. So
having a high damage card like that for Beast is going to be strong for Fury, and then the fact that it can even stack up more. So you're only going to be able to play it on your hand, which means it all depends on how many cards they have on retain and potentially have kept. It's not. I don't see it as anything amazing, but it could be decent. I think just having 70 base
as well, that this can actually remove the global secrets that they can remove the global secrets. Things like Hatsune, Lagging Croc. Gerbil can remove all of these secrets. Red Ear, as an example, those can get removed by Gerbil, basically, is what we're receiving from the team's communications for us on what Gerbil does additionally, is what they're saying. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, is that
yeah, even Arco? I'm not following. I'm not following.
So Gerbil can remove secrets like Hatsune, Lagging Croc. Yes, that is...
I was gonna say I thought they were just secrets, bro. Like I don't see. Yeah, I mean this one's probably gonna have to be dealt with after the stream, but as of right now, man, like, isn't that what removing 1 secret does?
Oh,
like...
hold on. The secret is on whoever uses the card. So, for example, if is that all right?
On Hatsune. So Hatsune says target any ally. Next turn, apply fragile for 4 turns to the next enemy that gains any shield. So Hatsune, you'd be shielding the front, but the actual secret of the effect of Hatsune
is a
is on
global
the
secret.
Axie who
So
played the card.
If you target
in,
that Axie with the Gerbil, the Hatsune trigger gets removed from the global secret.
How do we even know what Axie played the Hatsune? Because we don't know what secret they played, and we don't know where it came from.
You don't, bro. This is roulette, man. Just do it.
Yes, I don't
Put
see
on
any
a Night t-shirt and just do it.
Yeah, I think it's a very niche application that would save you in a very, very specific scenario, but wouldn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, I think.
Yeah,
it's
I think
very situational. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kara.
Yeah, the bottom line, I think Gerbil's still unplayable for this season. If they want to make this playable, maybe add some interesting mechanic or maybe increase the damage. But this one, target enemy, remove 1 secret, will not make an appearance, I believe, in the meta.
Makes sense.
I agree with them.
I'm seeing something in the chat. Yeah, Rallo in chat is saying. Yeah, Rallo in chat saying that is there a potential for Gerbil to be able to target the secret playing Axie, so you don't have to figure out which Axie it is. Instead, it will just do that.
That'd be a little better, yeah. But
that might be a little bit better because as of now, it's extremely situational. And then even when you have that situation, you have like a 1 of 3 gamble.
Yeah. Makes sense. That is very interesting. Just to pivot, what do we think is the solid tail card right now based from what we've seen so far?
Cottontail for utility, hair for the beast. For like the Fury Beast, unless you're going triple nut, a little branch. Then of course you want Nutcracker. Hair for just like the standard, I think the standard Fury Beast, and then for utility, Cottontail, and maybe Shiba on the front is potential.
True that. Makes sense. Awesome. This is our reveal. This is everything. All the cards are now out. People can now theorycraft to as much as they want. Everything is now for everyone to see. This is our day 6. This is the Beast reveal. Let's now move on to the final words of our panel before we head off. Let's start with Alriki. Let's go for that.
Yeah. I think this card review is pretty awesome. Like, what I'm really excited about, I think everyone else is excited. Like, Rage Beast got really nerfed, but the bleed mechanic is something I'm really looking forward to. Again, Grievous Wounds seems like a very, very strong effect, and a lot of cards deal bonus damage with bleed and apply bleed, and I think that's really strong because like dealing that 20 bonus damage makes that difference of keeping up that tempo early game where he's bleeding, you deal bonus 20 damage. Your 60 damage card is now an 80 damage card, which is 33% more, which is an insane number actually. So I'm excited to see how the bleed beasts are gonna turn out this season, and Rage it's gonna have a hard time in this meta, I think, because with the energy fragments they might fall off much faster. Like they wouldn't be able to ramp up as quickly, but it still remains to be seen in my opinion. I'm more excited for the bleed mechanics though.
Awesome.
Facts. Yeah.
Good to hear, Kara.
For the Rage, definitely it got nerfed a lot this patch, this season, but it's been dominating for the past 3 seasons. So I think all of the Beast players there will find a way on how to make it work. If it's still viable, you have it. Okay. And then for the Grievous Woods, the one that they introduced at the start of the stream, I was expecting more of that mechanic. However, I only saw one card, which is the dual blade, right? So kind of curious what is why they introduced that keyword but only added in one card. So
I agree.
It's kind of underwhelming. I thought there were more cards that
We want more
give us
Grievous.
wins because it's a new like it's a new keyword, right? So what else? Yeah, bleed basically I think bleed will will see play this season because of the new cards and the supporting cards for bleed, especially the chubby. I really like it a lot. What else? Yeah, that's it for me. Thanks everyone for you know
Awesome.
being with us.
Yes, sir.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear. Chuck, go ahead.
Yeah, well, we all came into it here, us beast lovers, knowing that we needed a nerf. Last season was our season. We destroyed everything. We obliterated every team on the arena. So it was definitely necessary to see this. Like Kara said, the beast players will of course learn how to adapt to the meta. We'll see what we can do different. Hopefully, we're still viable, but we'll see. But I'm just excited for the changes to see how. Like I've been through 3 iterations of this already: V1, V2, Origins. Like just seeing this every time, just seeing different cards is so interesting to me. I love a lot of card games. But since I am a man of the people, I have to ask you guys one thing. You guys that are right now connected with the team, what is D grade? We did not get an explanation of what D grade was in
You're
the
not getting
card.
it.
We're not getting it.
Yeah.
No.
We were just told that it's gonna be explained at a later date for
Yeah.
a degrade,
Okay.
and yeah, just to wait
I'm
for
sorry,
further
I've seen
update.
degrade about 1,700 times.
Yeah, that's
this
what I'm
stream.
saying.
I feel you guys. I feel your pain, but I promise you, Friday town hall, there will be a lot of things
Okay.
addressed there.
But just thank you so much for having me. It's always an honor to be here with the community, to be able to talk with you guys, to talk with the pros and non-pros. But yeah, we'll definitely be repping Quest for this season, playing it out with you guys in arena. Hopefully I give you guys L's, but you're probably gonna give me L's, so we're gonna see what happens.
It's gonna be fun, man. Thank you for
Awesome.
being here, Chuck.
And Ryan,
Man, I'm just so happy. I love Beasts, and this was not a disappointment whatsoever. I think the nerfs that we got were perfectly fair. I think we added a lot of utility in other directions that I wasn't expecting, which is really cool as well. I think I think Cottontail was an interesting one, right? Because before people would retain all these Cottontails, they'd get like 3 in their hand, and then they wait for Fury mode. Now you can't use multiple Cottontails in a turn, right? You need to absorb 10 of your fragments to even get, and then if you absorb at least 7, then you get an energy, right? So that makes me think that it's even still possible to get those 2 energy gainers off in the same turn if you're mixing Fury Beasts together with Aquas who are focused on getting those energy fragments. So as hopeless as it might seem for those Fury Beasts right now, I'm already seeing paths to the future. And as long as we all put our minds to it, I guarantee it's going to happen.
Yeah, Ryan already theory crafted, man. I know. I'm excited because there's gonna be a ton of content coming from your way as well. But yo, this for me, Beasts have been great. For me, like I think this is a great card reveal, and we're seeing a lot of different things. I agree with Al Ricky as well, man. The bleeds, that's where it's at for me with these Beasts.
awesome. Glad to hear. Thank you, guests. Thank you, panel, for all of those wise words. We are now going to be slowly closing it out. It's going to be us here in the desk with Hantao. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you?
Very good. It's been a while.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to give some final words. I hope everybody really enjoyed this event. It took a lot of work to get here. I want to shout out Nyx, Hale, Jaster for putting in so much work. I want to shout out Gila and Reg for casting and hosting amazing shows. I want to shout out all of the amazing panelists that showed up every single day on time, ready to roll. I want to shout out all the co-streamers and everybody streaming and making content for this new patch.
Yes, sir.
It was really tough to put it on, but I'm really happy how it turned out. This is the first of its kind. I'm hoping there's going to be more. So if you want to be part of the next one, make sure you join the Axie Creator Program. That's it for me. Thank you.
Glad to hear. Thank you,
Fire.
Hantao. And that is day 6. That is the beast reveal right there. We hope you had a great time. It is me, Ruthless Reg. I am joined by my friend and colleague, Gila Seas. That is the Twitter right there. This is my Twitter right here. Huge shout out to, as Hantao said, to the team, Nix, Hale, Jadster. Huge shout out to Kelly as well for making this amazing production. This has been a blast. This has been amazing. Yeah, it's been big fun.
Yeah, man. Hey, we came to the end of a road, 6 long days of reveals. I had a ton of fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed it as well. We now have all of the pieces to the puzzle, so you guys can start to get crazy. And I know there is going to be a ton of content continuing to come out of this community for the next few weeks. We do have a little while to wait, but of course it is the holiday period. So I hope that everybody has a great holidays. Take that time. Let's spend it together as Lunasians, and let's see what happens come the 29th.
Just to add to that, it's not over. We still got the town hall. You can see everyone there. You can ask all of the questions there. The times for that are 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. Philippine time. It's 2 p.m. UK time for us here. So that is the next gathering right there. Because people are asking, when is the next? That is the next town hall.
That is the next. Yeah, be there or be square, mate. I think we've come to the end of the road, Reg. I'm so sad, but hopefully we'll be in this seat again soon, bringing you guys some more events like this. But I think the star of today's show might have been Kara's cat, because you guys were going crazy for the Kara cat was out there, bro. But that was the beasts. That was all of your card reveals. Now get in the lab and craft some stuff.
We hope you had a great time. This is us, Gila, Ruthless Reg, the Axie Infinity reveal, signing off. Boom.
Peace!